So Josh, to say he was a mover and a shaker and an active person is a bit of an understatement. Josh was extremely involved in the school district, from going on field trips with the kids to he was at every event. Oftentimes, if I needed to visit with Josh on something, I would actually wait until that night's event because I knew he was going to be there. He donated things to the kids, was part of fundraisers. In fact, one fundraiser I thought was kind of a funny one was the kids were looking for something to sell as a fundraiser, and Josh showed up with a harvest box full of corn. He was handing handfuls of corn to anybody and everybody who would take them on the way out after the football game. So just a classic Josh.
With Josh here in the office, he was the kind of the heartbeat of the humor side of the office and the prankster side of the office, and we always called him the shiny object person. Whenever there was a new tool, a new thing, a shiny new object, Josh was usually the first one to step forward when some of the others were going like this, to learn that or to play with it or to decide how to pull pranks with it. So his sense of humor made it just a wonderful blessing to work with him in this office.
Josh, he didn't have a problem doing any jobs, whether they were large or small. For a period of time, we didn't have a custodian in the building, and he could be found in here after hours cleaning the building, scrubbing the toilets. So there was no job that was too big or too small for Josh. He tackled everything with the same zest and fervor, and so we were really grateful for that, to have somebody so willing to do whatever it took to make the team successful. Josh was born and raised in Wasco County, so he had a real tie to the community. He had a real spirit for conservation, and I think that combination really made him effective in his job and his ability to communicate with folks.
Just a family guy. I mean, everything revolved around his family. I mean, and I think that's where the fire industry and him and just everything worked together, because we're just one big family. And when he became a volunteer, I had to talk him into becoming a volunteer. And he always told me, no, family first. And I never completely understand that with his work schedule and his large family and all the obligations that he pulled on with his family. It was very obvious, family first. So one day he kind of come to me, and we'd had a couple major big fires. And he's like, okay, well, I'll be a volunteer, but I'm not sure how much I can dedicate my time. I said, just a couple trainings a year, get your certifications back up and this and that. And so we got him hooked back into fire. He'd show up. It was great to have Josh there, because he just had that natural leadership role, and people just liked to follow him and listen to him. He was very knowledgeable.
We always had time for whatever came up. They'd sit and listen to the problem, analyze it. He did a lot of what we call improvise, adapt, and overcome, because there were all kinds of challenges in our work. He got involved with most of the irrigation districts in the county, helped several of them pipe portions of their irrigation ditches. The water conveyance system. There's usually a lot of water lost when you take water out of a creek, run it down a ditch, but he cured a lot of that.
The other thing that Josh could do is explain things to people that are a lot of times have a hard time understanding stuff. Is that several of us in the district are third and fourth generation on that same property. We're used to having people tell us yes. Everybody from the chemical dealers to anybody you deal with wants you to feel good, and so they usually tell you yes. And if somebody does tell you no, then it really aggravates you. And what Josh could do is tell you no in such a way that you could understand it and accept it. So, we're in our district able to save a ton of water, actually do quite a bit of irrigation, and because of the help that Josh gave us.
Josh has left a Josh Thompson-sized hole in our community, and I think that's pretty classic. I mean, he was something else.
He taught me a lot, and I know we're very much going to miss him.
He won't be ever replaced.